Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a very special video for you. Today I'm going to be doing a maker highlight video. I don't do these very often because it's not very often that I get multiples of a single maker's work on my channel. If you go back, I made one on browse blades and I think that one is very informative and extremely accurate. But this one is going to be about a knife maker worthy of discussion, and that is Michal Gavac and Gavko knives. If you've been following my channel here and on Instagram for a while, you may recognize this guy right here. This is the very Frunkified Trasher model that I have had and loved. It features this amazing black timascus scale, this really awesome chisel ground Nitro V blade, and of course the green anodized lock face. I've really enjoyed having this knife, but today I am extremely fortunate to have the collection of my good buddy Josh in front of me. Josh is also known as Echo Does Knives. You can find him on Instagram. He's also one of my new co-hosts of the Knifecast podcast that we've been putting together. Josh really loves Gavko knives, if it's not painfully obvious here, and he has a beautiful selection of knives to choose from. In making this video, I had to consider different ways of approaching this because while I wanted to make a final diagnosis video on the Trasher, I felt like that wasn't really well suited to the knife. Because Michal does something that is truly unique in the custom knife world, and that is that he never makes the same knife twice. So it would be meaningless for me to make a final diagnosis on this knife because there are literally no other knives that will ever be quite like this one. And I'm going to demonstrate what that means here. What Josh has done is collected 5 different Tiger models, and we're going to go through each one briefly and show you the minor differences here. And this is a one-off model right here that led to a new production model. So what I want to do is highlight that Michal has come over, and he is an immigrant, and he has done an amazing job of building up a workshop and everything. He started out as a custom knife, as a knife modifier, a knife customizer, or a knife pimper, if you will. And he has progressed to making his own knives, and he has certainly developed a unique language and expression in his knives. And each one of these holds true to that Gavko DNA. And I do want to say DNA because each of these knives seems to be alive in one way or the other. So we'll go ahead and start talking about the Tiger model. If you'll notice that all of his knives recently have been named after sharks. He had the Mako, he had the Tiger here. This one was supposed to be the Thresher, but he called it the Trasher. He has Goblin, he has a Nurse, he has other knives that are coming out right now, but this one is the Tiger, and it featured this sort of 3.5, 3.6 inch blade right here, done in this very sharp and aggressive tip. All of these are Nitro V steel except for this Damascus one, which we'll get into. But the thing that I love about Gavko knives the most is that he does something truly unique in the knife world. He treats Damascus and black Damascus differently than anyone else. If you are into the custom knife game, you may recognize that Damascus and black Damascus often look something like this. This is the CMF Crusade right here, where the Damascus has been flame anodized, or I guess flame colored, so that it has this very dark blue and purple appearance. The black is the zirconium that's in the black Damascus there. But what Michal does in Gavko knives is that he acid etches these Damascus bits and then he electro anodizes them. So he achieves these amazing greens and blues and these beautiful purples that really just have to be seen to really be understood. I'm trying to show how they're iridescent in the light and how they change. So we can go ahead and start with this one. This one comes with a beautiful green, I think it's called Texas Wind, black Damascus. You can see the zirconium and the blues and the greens of the different Damascus there. It's got green standoffs. Each clip you're going to notice is going to be handmade from that same piece of material as the show scale, but each clip is going to be slightly different. What's different in each of these knives too is the detent. I don't think any two of these knives feel exactly the same. This one has a rather light detent on it, not so light that it's going to shake free, but light enough that you could misfire. This one is also done in black timascus. This looks more like the Amoeba black timascus. You can see the little eyes there, similar to mine. This one is done in purple, and the blade is done in this acid wash right here, acid stone wash. That's even different than this one right here. Hard for me to really show you perfectly the differences, but this one has gold or bronzed hardware, at least on the pivot and the thumb stud. Clip is different again, also in black timascus, but purpled. Moving on, he's got another one here. This is another tiger. This is a liner lock version right here. So you can see it's got liners, but it's also got these full thickness scales on it. This one is actually much chunkier than the hand than the other ones. But this one features my favorite version of the blade, and that is this satin finished blade with the acid stonewash flats. Really beautiful blade on this one. I absolutely love it. Features the green and blue black timascus over green anodized titanium liners. You can see that it's got this sort of almost rock pattern. It almost looks alive, this ripply rock pattern that he's got on every single one of his knives. I absolutely love that. It makes it feel truly unique in the hand. Here's an interesting tiger right here. Look at the coloration that he got here with the blues and the purples. Really a spectacular thing. The deep reds going on in there. It really just looks alive. It looks like blood and water. And then this one has a beautiful Chad Nichols Damascus blade. Simply stunning. I don't know if that's boomerang Damascus, but it kind of looks like that. It's really beautiful, beautifully etched. You know, Michal really has a mastery of finish work. All of these knives are spectacularly finished. Every bit has been anodized to perfection, and everything matches really well. Look at the matching of the blue hardware with the blue purple scale, the blue and purple anodizing. Again, custom clip here, different than any of the others before. Here's a one-off Tiger Tanto prototype right here. This one has a very snappy detent. Again, each one is slightly different. I tried to clean each of these off with alcohol before the video so you could see how beautiful they are. This one has blues and pinks and purples. Just a very, very nice, beautiful set of colors. I'm amazed always by these beautiful colors. This one has a full satin finish blade. Just look at the hand milling there on the spine. Really, really cool. All the way down the spine and then all the way down the back of the handle. Blue standoffs. Really, really beautiful stuff here. And then this one is a one-off here. This one has a unique story in that Michal usually makes a one-off knife every now and then he sort of hones that knife to create a new model. Well, this one became the Goblin. This was a one-off knife, and Josh bought it, and he said that the overall profile reminded him of a goblin shark, and so actually Michal started calling this the Goblin, and so now he makes it. I really enjoy this one in particular because it is a non-flipper. I think the action on Michal's knives are very unique. In handing these to novice knife people, a lot of them have a huge amount of trouble opening these knives because there's a very specific way to handle and open these knives. I have to push that knife open. I can't do a traditional Spidey flick. If I try to put my thumb, well, it worked that time just because I know what I'm doing. But if you put any amount of tension on the lock bar here, this is an impossible knife to open. And it basically holds true across the board. That is one thing that is true about the actions on all these. That's a little nitpick. But once you learn how to do it, these knives do have all very wonderful actions. And it's truly unique. And no two are the same. So even though all 7 of these Gavko knives right now are made by the same guy, each one is truly unique. I absolutely love the way that he's bringing a unique finish to the knife world. He's got a design language all his own. He's doing finishes like nobody else is doing and working with some of the finest materials in the industry. If you haven't seen any of Michal Gavac's work, really this is a beautiful display of what he can do, and you should definitely be paying attention to him. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. He's got a channel, and he's got some excellent content out there, all the way dating back a number of years. This is not a new maker. He's been doing this for quite some time. Let me know what you guys think of Gavko knives. I've ended up selling my Trasher just because it was too much money, and I wanted to save up for Blade Show. Let me know what you guys think of these down below. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Frunkey. Click like and subscribe to my channel here. And as always, guys, take care.